Thoro Dev is officially live. It's out there. People can actually book it and get their plans together. Plans will change. The features will change a little bit slightly in the future, but I'm going to give a quick, no, it's not going to be quick, it's going to be a fairly lengthy video of the system and how it functions and what features it has in it. You want to have a short video, you've got to wait for it because we're going to take this content plus more. I'm going to hire an individual that is going to put together a highly professional video for us, and then we will have a video that will be quick, easy, fun to watch, and we'll have all of the bells and whistles so that we can scale as a company. This is going to be our very first video, so there's a chance that this video will be taken down in future, but the reason for this video is I'm going to share it with a few of my friends and acquaintances, people who are interested in the software, want to get into it early and work with us early so that they can get maximum benefit out of it before the market gets saturated. So let's get working on it. So Thoro Dev, in a nutshell, it's a dedicated CRM system built for developers and web designers. As you can see, it can be used not only by web developers and web designers, can use it pretty much for almost any business. Even things like landscaping jobs can be run inside Thoro Dev, especially if we modify a few things there and tweak a few things, which we can absolutely do that. So let's say if you find a landscaper that wants to use a CRM system, we can absolutely modify it so that they can use it. Why is CRM so important? CRM so important because you cannot scale a business, you cannot make it larger and more profitable unless you have a system that helps you manage all of the projects and all of the tasks that you're trying to accomplish. All right, so let's jump into Thoro Dev. You would go here, you would click on whatever plan you want to start with, or you can start with a free demo, which is going to give you a 14-day free trial. I'm actually logged in already, so if you are just getting started, or if you send this to a client, they're going to start from this. So they will see registration, their phone number, they will create their password, they're going to sign up for a 14-day free trial, or they will sign up for a specific package that they want to. They will use their credit card to put on file, they will agree to terms of service, which I need to update this. That's another item on my to-do list. And once they register, they will get to a dashboard that looks something like this. It's not extremely appealing and beautiful yet. We will be modifying the layout slightly, but we want to keep it simple and professional so that it's easy to navigate. This system will be changing a lot because we have built it for ours. We have been using it for about 2 years, but I'm sure other web development graphic design agencies will have other ways that they want to modify it. Now, question, why are we going after web developers and web designers if this system can be used for any business? The reason why is because I'm a web developer and I know how to build websites, and I know I personally know the problems that us as web developers have and graphic designers. It's absolutely difficult to find a system that would allow us to manage projects. If you look online, everybody has the same problem in web development and graphic design. They cannot find a software that will be able to address their problems of managing clients. It's absolute nightmare, it's absolute pain, and the market is just basically begging for somebody to put this together. We're the first ones on the market, from what I know, to put this together, and it turned out to be absolutely incredible and can be used with other businesses as well. But I know how to market to web developers, I know how to market to web designers. and graphic designers, project managers, because I've been working with them for many years, and you might actually be looking at this video because I've sent it to you, because you are most likely in my list of people that were interested in this. Alright, so once you register, you go to the dashboard. So the idea behind any business or businesses and business processes are pipelines of task execution. If you don't have a process, you don't have a business, and it's important to define the process. There are many processes in businesses. The more complex your business is, the more processes you have. The processes can be streamlined using a pipeline methodology through Kanban charts. Kanban is the easiest way to streamline processes. Let's say we create a new chart, a new pipeline. Let's call it marketing, why not? So we actually can give access to marketing to different roles. We're just not going to give access to anybody except for the main admin. And you can see that we have marketing pipeline created on the left hand side. You click on it, and then you can build it out. So the way that you would build it out, you would create a stage, and then you can call it, give it number 1. So what will start as marketing ideas, probably. Marketing, let's do ideas. So brainstorming ideas, right? That's what we want to start with when it comes to building up a marketing plan. Then once we generate some ideas, we want to refine them, and we want to select the best candidates, best ideas. Once we selected the best ideas, we want to probably start on execution of those ideas. Tasks to execute. No, I forgot about number 3. Let's edit this one. I like to number things so that they are in the correct order of the stage. And maybe we will have one more item here. Create stage, deployment of the marketing plan, and actually getting it into action so that it works. We can make it green. Alright, so now we have an outline, a pipeline that will help you organize marketing plan, basically. Now you can create an actual ideas. You can generate ideas. You can create a stage. You can create a deal over here. So once you click create a deal, you have to assign it to a specific client, because this system has been built specifically for client and project management. And you'll see that there's no clients here. So before you can get to working on it, you have to add at least one client. So we're going to go to a clients tab over here at the very top, and you can add a client. Let's just add myself. Peter K. Peter at let's do Peter at dev.com. Whatever phone number, you can specify what hourly rate is applicable to the specific person, and whatever company, Thoro Dev. So I'll just add myself. Save new client. So this is the dashboard for a client. Client management, just having this information here, that's what majority of CRM systems have, and maybe some tag management. It's not enough to actually run a full-fledged business. So there's a lot of things for web development or graphic design company that are critical. So things like resellers, if you have resellers reselling your services, referrals, you can add people here. Employees, what employees are working in the company, what their email, last name, and it's actually very easy to add people here. Just click on add, put a check mark, and you have people added. You don't have to have all of the information. John Smith, for example, don't have to have all of the info here. Helper, click check mark and you've added them into the system. Now we will have bugs for sure in the system. This is the first bug that I see here. When I entered the position, it just disappeared on me. So because we are just building, like we launched the system, there are going to be bugs. We're literally getting the first 1,000 users so that they can help us see what bugs there are. We're going to triple check and quadruple check everything. In the next few weeks, all of this will be addressed, but there could still be some combinations of things that will trigger some kind of errors, so we will definitely work on addressing this. And this is really web specific now, which websites a person has, what domain, what alias, what status, if it's production or development, what type of website it is, Shopify, WordPress, HTML, PHP, what is the login to the website. I'm going to talk about LastPass a little later. Basically, LastPass allows you to store passwords without actually exposing the password. If there's a hosting or a maintenance plan for this specific website, if it's just maintenance or if it's just hosting, if there's a commission that has to go to another person who referred the client to you. So all of this has been built in for web developers. Like this section is web developer specifically, website lists, domains list, also web specific. If this would be, let's say, a landscaping company, then we would have other fields here that are specific to landscapers. Mailgun access, web development specific, Cloudflare access, other accounts. This is universal. If there's other accounts that they have that you need to log into, they can be added here. So very extensive profile for a customer. We're not going to add any sensitive information here. Most of this information is publicly available if you were to search well enough. And my recommendation is not to store any passwords in the system. That's why you want to use a third-party encryption tool like LastPass to store the passwords. And whenever you store the password, you want to put a reference to that password through an access ID, which you can get from LastPass for a specific password. So I don't want to go into depth on that because that is something that I'm going to take a little bit of time to explain why we decide to go that route. But it's for security. So going back now to our pipeline, I have digressed a little bit on a little bit of a tangent to explain how the clients module works. So now in clients we have people here, and we're actually seeing how many contacts were used out of 1,000 for the basic plan that we have. Under the marketing tab, we can create a deal now. So let's call it YouTube marketing YouTube channel. We're going to assign it to myself. Peter. Going to select me, and then we're going to select, it's still in the ideas stage. Then we're going to create our first task. That would be just basically our brainstorming. What type of videos do we want to make? Video about specific functions. And we can add more details. So I'm going to create a deal, but basically here's the idea. So we have a YouTube channel approach, right? Let's rename this. I'm going to click on it, and then we're going to rename this Thoro Dev YouTube channel. So we're going to talk specifically about the YouTube channel that we have set up for this software. So we can elaborate on this one. Specific functions, create videos about specific modules so that videos are not long, but they address specific pain point, and the videos are SEO optimized for a specific keyword that we want to rank. Okay, so that's our idea. That's not everything, like that's just one idea, which we should absolutely do. I want to add another task. So see, this is our task interface. We can add some general description here. General info about this project. Let's add another task. So this second task will be create short videos. Short videos create massive exposure. They have massive exposure and good traction. It would be a good idea to create a main pillar video for our channel. So pillar video is basically your main video that is absolutely great, not this garbage that I'm recording right now. Something that you would spend several weeks making. I'm talking about like 8 hours per day building one video that's like 20 minutes long about this software that will talk about all of the advantages and break it down so that the person is like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need for my business. So basically this is important, but it's not that big of a priority. We should push it down, the short video, until we actually have a pillar video. So that brings me to another task, which we need to create a main video. Create main video that will convert. Create the pillar. How do you spell that? Pillar video. So we need to make sure that we create the pillar video before we do anything else. On our YouTube channel. So that's going to be a big task for me. I'm going to give it a priority 1. So now we're starting to organize our marketing plan. Create pillar video, videos about specific functions, create short videos. And then I'm going to edit this one. Point short videos to the pillar video. So in YouTube we can point, once a person stops watching your short video, it will redirect the person to that big video. Videos about specific functionalities, and then redirect to pillar video. So all of the videos that we're going to be putting together on YouTube will always link that back to this main big video, so that all of the traffic that we're getting from shorts, from all of the jazz and buzz, it's all going to go to this one video. This one video will convert people from visitors to clients. So that's our basic process of our approach to working on our channel. Then I would say this would be priority number 2. This would be priority number 3. So now I'm refining my priorities, and I can add one more task, which will be find a YouTube expert videographer. This is important to make sure that we can actually reach out to the guy that talked about video editing, budget around 8K for it. So this would be task 0. So I'll reach out to an expert. We'll set a budget together. Hopefully we will be in line with our budget. Create a video, the main video. And then we're going to create massive amounts of other content related to the software, and it's always going to point back to this pillar video, which will create conversions. Wonderful. So have I started something here? No, I have not. Once I start working on this, I'm going to drag this one to in process stage, so I will know when I started working on it. You can see like there's the start item, that start date and time, so I know when I started working on this. Then once I complete this, I will move it to the completed tasks just by dragging and dropping stuff. While I'm working on this project, I can add notes here. This is a section for notes, just random notes or something important, or maybe some kind of access points. It will show me when the note was added, so it's extremely useful. What else is really useful about this system? Especially when it comes to graphic design, web development, you want to make sure that you are attaching files, so you can create you can actually attach files in here. Let's say we want to attach a logo. Save changes. Now it's here. So if a client sends revisions, modifications to whatever they want to modify, we can always go to a project, look up what files they've attached, and we can always review them. You can click on the file and look at it or download it. So everything is in one place. You don't have to run around trying to find content that your client has sent. Right, so going back to the marketing board, this is a really great exercise that we have created this one little deal right here. It's currently in the idea stage, but I think it's a really good idea. So I think we definitely should move it to the best ideas. Not only is it a really good idea, I think we can actually move it to the tasks to execute. Right. So another idea that I had is reach out to web consultants. So there's people that consult web development agencies. Sorry, not stage. It's a deal. My bad. So that would be Peter. So same person right here. And then we're going to call it consultants. There are companies, stage ideas. Talk to Chris. Let's just add it. There are companies that consult web development companies. So agencies that help web development agencies grow. And they are looking for software like this so that they can recommend. Moreover, they want to make money by recommending software, and that's where we would be an exact match. And I actually have one person, his name is Chris, so we can definitely schedule a call to talk to Chris. Actually, I've done this already, so I'm going to put it in the completed task. We have that scheduled. So go to Facebook groups for developers and find consultants. Right, I don't want to market to every single developer. I want to find people who I can reach out to, who have connections. Find consultants through Facebook groups. Really, this should be done after we generate that pillar video, so that I can send a video to them so that they can get familiarized with the software that we're building. So consultants, we can find them on Facebook. Where else can we find consultants? We can find them in Google My Business listing. I can note that description. I can just do it this way. And you can just keep on adding this stuff here so that you have an outline of ideas. But you get the point. So basically, sitting here for an hour or two, you can create complete marketing plan for your business. And it's organized. It's easy to see. You click on it, you look at it, you have everything that you need to succeed. Basically, you've got everything arranged. Another practical application of the software to actually that you can use to run a business, create a desktop, is, let's say, web deployment. I'm going to give an access to the developer, save desktop. So let's say you are a web developer, you're building websites, and you need to create a process to build websites. So the way that I'm doing it, it's very simple. I don't have too many stages. The first stage is admin. This is myself. Whenever I'm running a company, anything that I need to look at goes to admin. I create another stage, which would be developer. So that's going to be to developer, let's say John, or maybe you have multiple developers, but in this case let's call him John. And I need to rename this one so that it's going to be a first admin update stage, so that it's in the correct order. Then we're going to have 3 client review. If a client is interested or not interested in something, we need to send a task to a client. And then final payment, or we can call it deployment. Right, so we're deploying the website. There are handoff processes that have to happen, and then we can create final stage as payment. Final payment. It can be colored, whatever colors you want. Doesn't really matter. Save stage. There we go. You've got a pipeline of your development pipeline. You have a client that started building a website with you. You create a deal. You add the client. Let's add another client real quick here. Clients. Add client. Let's do Johnson James. You don't have to have an email. It's always a pain when you cannot add a client in other CRM systems because you have to have their email. You don't have to have their email to add a client in our system. You can just add a client if they have a name. So that's really nice. Okay, so going back to our web deployment pipeline here, we can create a deal. We'll call it, we'll get that Johnson James added. And let's do this as new website. Countertops. Countertop website, right? So let's say he had wanted us to work on the website. And currently it's an administrative stage. And then we can add all of the details that he wanted into here. I usually add details once I create a deal here. I would click on it. So countertop website, I would add all of the description here. I would attach whatever files the client sent me here. We can add internal notes here. Task specific note can be added here, just like that. And then you save changes. Building a website is a big process. So that's why I've created this stage of tasks. So you can add a lot of tasks and you can organize them in priority. Let's say you have filled your tasks, doing graphic design, creating wireframes, layout, content, logo placement. Let's say our client, besides building a website for him, let's say he wanted also a business card. So we're just going to select him again. Business card. That's a simpler task. Going to be in the admin. Create a card. Create a deal. You can specify how much he decided to pay for it in here, but it's fairly simple. For something like business card, create a card. I would just attach whatever content the client sent us, logos, and whatever text description for the business card that he wanted can go here. Going to click Save Changes. And then that would be sent to the developer or graphic designer. So in this case, I can send it to John for him to create that business card. Once I organize all of this information, I'll send it to John. And you know what? Looking at this, he needs business card first. So I'm going to give priority of business card 1. So that John knows that he needs to do a business card first, and then the website comes second, so the priority is 2. So he will have to finish this task first, and then he'll be working on the countertops. John, our developer, right, developer John, will have access only to this dashboard. He will not have access to marketing or leads. That's the way that we build the system. John will have access only to the contact. Only one contact, this one. John James. He can go to the client and see client information only for this specific client that he's working with. He cannot go. He doesn't have clients tab. That's really important so that our client, our workers, employees don't steal all of the client database. That's really important for the security of the business. Let's say developer John has built a website. He will send it to me for me to review. I will log in into the system, actually work in the system every single day. It's always on. I will look through all of the tasks that John has completed. Basically, I will click on the task. It will be here in the completed tasks. I would click on it. I will see that there's a note from John that he has completed the task, and then I will review it. And if everything's good, I will write an email to the client and say, hey, you know what? we've built the website, check it out, and then I'm going to drop it into the client review. And I'm going to set a reminder for myself because I want to make sure that I can follow up with the client and get his approval to make sure that I'm on track with stuff. So I would just create a small task myself, reminder task to get feedback, just so that I don't forget about this project. So I'll probably do it like mid next week. If I don't hear back from the client, I'll be able to see that there is the system will basically alert me that there is a reminder task, something that needs to be completed. The way that the system lets me know that something is kind of behind, or I should have looked into it earlier, we can just create a negative date, and then if it's negative date, you will see we have not implemented yet, but I'm going to implement it. It's going to paint it red basically in the Kanban chart, and it will also show you here that you have missed a due date. So that's important. We'll probably bring our due dates to the Kanban chart here as well, so you can actually see when stuff is due. That's something that we should work on. Let's say the client is happy, it goes to the deployment, and then we deploy the website, and the client, we're waiting for the final payment. So that will be here. So that's the way that you would use the system. Landscaping projects, you can have multiple landscaping projects here. Graphic designers can absolutely use the system the same way. I don't want to go into great details. There's a lot more functionality in this system. Leads and clients are kept separate, because if you're marketing, you're going to get a lot of leads. Just a handful of those leads will be converted to clients. So you don't want to search for a client and have like an insane amount of companies pop up. So that's why we're keeping leads and clients as completely two separate lists, so that you're not mixing them up. So we do have an ID number that is 1000 something. That's something that I will have to look into. Looks like this one is a bug. This client should have an ID of number 2, not number 1029. So I'll look into it. Need to create a PHP session to task to clear the ID numbers for new client accounts. All right, I'm going to end this. I think it gave you a very good overview of the system, what it's designed to do. There's storage management, just to show you what files you have in the system and how much space they're taking up. Client profiles, basically people who have access to your system. There's tag functionality, so you can add different tags into your system. Let's say CRM prospect. You can save tag. The tags can be assigned to clients, so that if you're searching for a specific number of clients, you can search them and filter them by tags. That's really, really helpful. So the tags are being added on the client level. So if we go to a specific client, tags, now we can add the tag to a client. Basically, this system allows a company to scale. You cannot scale without proper organization of workflow if you don't have proper pipelines, if you don't have proper way of managing clients. If you're not connecting the pipeline and projects together, this system connects pipelines to clients and clients to tasks and tasks to projects, and keeps everything organized. It has a filing system so that you can keep tasks and files in one place. There is no other system out there that does what we do. I know for sure because I'm part of a web development group, and there's many people that come there, many web developers, and they all have the same problem. I'm pretty sure that majority of those web developers will end up using our system. And we, as group of web developers, tried a lot of different tools out there, cheap and expensive and uber expensive, and doing different blends and combinations of different CRM systems to get to this, what we have built in one place.